Hello everybody, Josh12 back again with another video, and I'm back with another Dragon Ball Super review. I'm here to review episode 84, titled Son Goku the Recruiter Invites Krillin and number 18. If you've not seen this episode, please go check it out because this review may contain spoilers. But that being said, let's get into the video. Now, before talking about episode 84, I want to touch upon my review on episode 83 real quick. If you didn't notice, I went on Twitter and I basically talked about it because I did a review for episode 83, but I've been just so contemplating over whether or not I should actually edit it and then upload it because of how insanely rantish. I was on a rampage on that episode, and it was so unwarranted looking back at it in retrospect that I just felt like I just did not want to post that review for the big Vegeta Brawl episode, because as much as I may or may not have loved it, it meant a lot for a lot of Vegeta fans, a lot of Bulma fans, a lot of Veggie Bull fans, because it is a large, beloved fucking fan base of the Dragon Ball community who loves these two characters and their little family crew, and everything that they do is pretty much the end-all be-all thing for that fan base. And as much as I love Vegeta and Bulma and all these kind of characters, I felt like that episode was so overhyped that I expected something and got the polar opposite of it, and I just did not like the episode. And I made almost like a half an hour rant on how much I hated that episode, how much I thought it stunk, how much I thought Vegeta's just become an overrated character like Wolverine, and how much I just thought how irrelevant these characters have become and how stupid this episode is and how much Trunks is a needy cunt. I said a lot of crazy shit, and I decided, fuck it, I'm not going to upload it because I don't want to piss off Vegeta fans, and I don't want to make a product that's going to bash a fan base, because I hate it when it's done to me. Because I'm a huge Goku guy. I'm a huge Goku fan. I always have been, always will be. He will always be my top tier character in fiction. But I do hate it, and it does really get aggravating when fans of other characters or fans of other fictional stories or franchises like to bash my character and why I love him and stuff like that. It always fucking pisses me off, and I hate it. I hate it when that kind of stuff happens, so I hate to do that. And that's kind of like what the episode review I did was, and I just decided, fuck it, I'm not going to do that. It's kind of like me saying, I'm better than you, which I guess is the main purpose of that, of this statement, which is basically me saying, I'm going to be the bigger man, most importantly, the better man. That's, you take that as what you will. And I am not going to release my rant on Vegeta fans and Vegeta the character, because I'm better at being a person who doesn't bash other characters just to make yourself feel better. Because that all you come off as being is just a douchey little cunt. And I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to be that because I hate it when it's done to me. So I'm not going to do it to Vegeta fans. So that review will not be posted. I gave my brief thoughts on, no pun intended, my brief thoughts on Twitter. It is what it is. I thought it stunk. I don't think it was the worst episode ever, but it was just okay. And I love the Yamcha moment, non-ironically. It's probably the best moment of that episode for me. And Whis, what the fuck? Anyways, on to the actual episode, episode 84. Son Goku and Gohan end up going to Krillin and 18's home to recruit them for the Tournament of Power, and Gohan and Goku want to basically spar against Krillin to get a range on his power scale in comparison to the greater universe's threats that we'll be getting in Tournament of Power. And that's pretty much what the overall course of this episode is. It's just a recruitment episode of Krillin and 18. It's pretty straightforward, and looking at it in retrospect, this episode is probably going to be the most overlooked or underlooked episode of this saga so far at this point in time from the larger fan base, especially on YouTube and other platforms like this, because so far from what I've seen from the fan base is that it's pretty much just being underlooked as it's just whatever. It's a whatever episode. For me, I feel like the message of this episode meant way more than anything they could have shown in the episode itself prior or afterwards, because this episode was so good, and I loved it, and I completely am surprised as to why I love it and like it as much as I do, because we've gotten Krillin episodes before, and prior to the saga, we got some really cool Goku and Krillin episodes of them kind of like understanding their range on each other, and Krillin really getting his balls back, basically. And in this episode, it's really reinforced and it comes home, I really feel. And the episode has a great message for everybody about like really accepting who you are and showing that you may not be the strongest guy around, but you can bring something to the table. And it's all about teamwork and how much love you have for family and stuff like that. And I love that message. It's so undertoned in this episode, and I loved how it's paced, which is the brilliant thing about this episode. Super and Toy, they know how to make Dragon Ball episodes. And there's several ways to make Dragon Ball episodes. Like, look at Z as an example. Z has two kind of ways of making an episode, which is, it can be either A, incredibly sped up and kind of hard to follow, especially if you're not paying attention, or B, and dreadfully fucking slow, and you just want to shoot yourself. Super has found a nice balance in between in several episodes and sagas, where it's pretty much been very consistent on how they pace an episode. That's what this episode does. This is what in my opinion, this episode does better than what the episodes of the Goku Krillin filler episodes we got prior were, because this episode really gives you a range on how Krillin has grown up, how he sees himself, how he views other people around him, and also 18's view on Krillin, and I loved it. And I like how Goku and Gohan left having new respects for Krillin. Goku and Gohan have two specific point of views, and they try to attack that through Krillin. Gohan fights Krillin, he spars with him when they're trying to recruit both Krillin and 18. And Gohan, he's a very inexperienced character when it comes to fighting and when it comes to tournaments, but he's very powerful, as we all know, and he's obviously more powerful than Krillin. However, I liked how Krillin really drove it home about really having a strategy and really building together as a team. And that's what Gohan does. And I like the usage of Gohan. I keep saying that. I love how Gohan's been used in this saga. Gohan is a lot like Krillin 18 and most characters in Super, because Super can be the Goku Vegeta show for a large portion of time, but they're so underused. When they are used, it's done well. And what Gohan and Krillin have been used, the way they've been used so far in this saga, I love it. It's really good. It's very much just what we need to see from these characters. And Gohan, I like the fact that he's really doing a lot, and he has this interesting view on the episode, which is, I'm just inexperienced and I need to learn more. And he's so desperate. Gohan is so desperate to try and win, and I love it. On the flip side, you have Goku, who, when he fights Krillin, and he's about to fight Krillin 18 as a Super Saiyan Blue, spoilers, he comes to the realization that he had a different view of this tournament and how he viewed it, and now it's changed to something different. And I like that. I like the fact that, and I know it's going to be one of those things that no one's ever going to talk about, because whenever Goku has some form of character or anything, people would just not acknowledge that and just be like, but I hate him. No development. He will always suck. That's the thing. However, I like the fact that Goku kind of came up with a specific term of an opinion of what sparring with Krillin in 18 meant, which was the tournament power is not going to be just about fighting strong guys or having strong guys on your team to fight or just being the strongest or most powerful. It's having a plan, having strategy. You have to fucking be Batman in this tournament. You have to have some fucking contingency plans ready in place to win this tournament. And he saw it all wrong, and I like the fact that he learned something from Krillin 18. Krillin and 18 were the masters of this episode. They weren't bumbling around. They weren't dullards. They didn't fucking need to learn anything. The only thing that they did was grow closer, which was beautiful. And also got to really get a lot of feels between everybody. Krillin and Gohan, they're fucking buddies. They're going to train again. It's like the Saiyan Saga and the Namek days again. You have Krillin 18. They love each other. They're married. They're going to fucking do it as a team. Of course, it's going to really drive home when 17 comes a part of this. And then you have Krillin and Goku. They're still best buddies. They're still best friends. Goku and Krillin are the OG brothers of Dragon Ball. And I love how they reinforced that with the reanimation of Goku and Krillin fist bumping at the World Tournament back in the Dragon Ball days. I love that. This episode was awesome. I love the episode a lot. I thought it was going to be trash, kind of similar to 83. But 84 was far greater than I could ever imagine. And I think this episode does may not have the amazing action or art style of the previous Krillin episodes we had with Krillin and Goku and their little adventures in the filler, but I think what this episode does is reinforce a message better than those episodes could have. And it also really reinforced Goku and Krillin's relationship better than those episodes did, because back in those episodes in the filler, we really didn't have a good scope of Krillin and Goku being friends. They kind of just felt indifferent. In this episode, they are still friends. But overall, my final verdict for episode 84 has to be a solid 8 out of 10. I enjoyed the hell out of the episode. The animation, artwork looked great. The fights, the sparring matches between Goku, Gohan, and Krillin at 18 were really good. I liked even Marin stuff, even though I feel like I don't like the fact that she's still a baby or whatever. I liked her interactions, and just every single thing that happened in this episode was just beautifully done. But that's pretty much it, and then we end off with the end of the episode where Goku ends up going and leaving to see Dende on the lookout to essentially discover the whereabouts of Android 17. He will also be sparring with Majin Buu, who's become skinny for reasons I really don't want to get into, because fucking it's too baffling to even think about at this point. But we will be getting 17. He has been teased. We will see him at some point in the next couple of episodes. And of course, we got the big Universe 11 teases, not to mention the big meetups between the Supreme Kais and the Gods of Destruction over the Tournament of Power and Goku. What are they going to do? We'll have to wait and see. It's going to be very interesting in the next several episodes of Dragon Ball Super, and I can't wait for it. Especially the inevitable fight between Goku and Jiren. Let's get that shit going. But overall, I enjoyed the hell out of the episode. 84 is an 8 out of 10 for me. Let me know what you think. We also got a new outro for Dragon Ball Super and the Universe Survival Saga, which was interesting. I'm a big fan of the animation work that they did. I don't understand the point of having it be such a Bulma-centric outro. I don't really understand that. Will that play an effect, or is that just a throwaway and a throwback to the Bulma outros of Dragon Ball days? We'll have to wait and see, but I did really enjoy the animation. Not a fan of the song. I will say that the previous ending and song I like more, but I did enjoy the animation style of the artwork. I find it funny that Toei and Super tend to really focus their time on perfectly animating and making these intricate fucking outros for Super than the actual episodes at hand. It's like, do these douchebags know they're making episodes? Like, stop with the... It's like Nintendo. It's like, stop making consoles and make some actual games that are worth a damn, you fuck. Stop with the outros. We already have... We're already on, like, what, the 10th, the 8th, the dozenth? Fucking... Come on. Just freaking... Stop it. But whatever. It is what it is. And that's pretty much it. With that being said, subscribe to my channel if you've not done so already. I'd really appreciate it. And of course, this has been Jonks12, and I hope you enjoyed the review.